also really, really excited. People are getting this, like, it's like giving people a boost, right? And giving them this great starter place. And yeah, it works, with companies. I think like as founders, I know how in the very beginning you're trying to build the product and you're trying to think about all these things and trying to do all these, building your team, etc. And you're like, you want a website, and it's very tempting to like just choose something that's gonna be like, for now, I just want to like edit it in like a few minutes and like fine, and that's it. Like we'll deal with this later, right? And all these things like just like generate a little bit of like, yeah, tech debt, right? And later it needs to be paid, and then it becomes like an issue and a whole like migration. So I think like companies really want that ability to be like, I want to get started the right way, and then continue. And similarly, I think we hear from agencies and freelancers how much of like a boost this gives them and helps them win deals, right? It's like we can get there really fast, right? To the client, prove to them that we have something running that is like almost there, customize it really easily, right? Without a whole bunch of development work. Um, and I think it makes a lot of sense, right? And even ongoing changes, right? It's like these things are oftentimes, I think, when you're working on especially for agencies, right? If you're working on many different projects and then now you've shipped something and it comes back to you like after a few months and like, oh, now I have to load the whole environment again, and like how do I do it, etc. And even with that, we've thought about the developer, and we said like, what, we're gonna give you an integrated editor, right, that sits within the Stackbit UI. You can still use your local development if you choose to, but if you now have a small change you want to make, right? And you want to see it side by side and you want to see how it works, just you have the ability to do it right now, right? And I think this is like another thing where I think developers like us, because we're trying to think about all these use cases that are really, gotchas in the developer's kind of like day-to-day life, that we're like, we will solve that for you, right? We'll enable for that to work. And that includes, again, being like super high level and like working with multiple clients and like needing to make changes here and there. Or if you're like building your site from scratch and you're even like just learning, this whole ecosystem, we've got a lot of folks that are really excited about that. They're like coding within Stackbit or coding on their own and just seeing the preview immediately and like, oh, this is what it does, right? And like, again, it enables you this like nimble way to just like see the changes and just like go forward.